individualized into small groups. So I invited my students to the public hearing on changes being made to the social studies curriculum with the Mississippi Department of Education on last Friday. I wanted to invite my students to see how standards are formed and the processes and opinions that shape our standards. And so after the meeting, my students had a lot of thoughts and concerns about the changes, but also the different perspectives that were represented at the hearing. We were invited by the board to come and share our reflections on the standards and what that means for JPS students moving forward.
It started with a conversation. We were both following the story in the news. We learned about the hearing. And I said, I think you should go. And it's like, I think you should take students. And the students they came back with such discussion, and they had all of these opinions and these hopes for our district and for our state, and we thought it would be important to capture that and to share those thoughts with our school board.
The standards that students are taught are established by the state. So students are expected to know this information. In my particular class, they are tested on this information. And so we wanted to come to the board and share our thoughts and concerns, because I do believe that student voice should be centered. These are the individuals that will be taking these exams. These are the individuals that will be taught this information. And students wanted to make sure that their voices were heard, but also that they were seen within the curriculum. And so they had some concerns about the changes being made to the standards, and they wanted to voice those concerns to the individuals that are directly responsible for teaching those standards within the classroom.
The standards we have now are not bad. I will admit, what we do learn about is very interesting, and I feel like it's important to know about is Black history. We can talk not only about Black history, but the history of America, how we go from one political idea to another, how political ideas and ideologies change to different people, through different times, and how during times of war especially is when, even though we're in danger, we see the most remarkable change happen.
As African American students, I feel that representation is something that's very important, and for us to be able to see our history trying to, be challenged and, threatened in the curriculum, I feel like that's something that kind of affects us, as African Americans, because that's our history, that's where we come from, that's who we are. So, seeing our culture and our history in the curriculum, I feel like that's very important, and, understanding who we are and recognizing, how far we've come.
The changes to the curriculum would take away the intentionality of focusing on a Medgar Evers or Dr. King or Rosa Parks. It would take that away, and it would allow teachers the autonomy to teach about any civil rights leaders or any Mississippians, and not specific ones. So students would have different experiences in their social studies classrooms.
We are interested, that we want to know, but we want to be a part of the conversation. We want our voices heard. I think that was really the most important part, that we are in the conversation about what we are being taught as students, and what students that are coming after us are going to be taught. And I think it's important that, like I said, we advocate for ourselves.
I think the board is important because, us just representing, one school, JTECHS, but, the board kind of represents all schools. It kind of represents the city of Jackson, really. So I feel like, having the board, represent such a large group of people, I feel like that can be such a huge factor.